Greetings everyone. Well, got kind of a fun update for y'all today. Bit of a mix of stuff. I like to call it Conan and Other Barbarians. Now, that said, there's not actually a ton of Conan in here, but there is a lot of Conan related stuff. There's some books, there's some movies, and even a few cartoons. Well, they're not Conan cartoons. They're, other barbarians. Kinda. It'll make sense when you see the video. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? So we got a few things that fill in some long-standing gaps in my collection. A few things that are upgrades. Actually, quite a few things that are upgrades, but major upgrades. Very excited about these. So let's get right to it. Conan and Other Barbarians, today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Well, to start off, I finally completed a set of books that I've been slowly bringing together and collecting and amassing since 2011. Yeah, so it's only taken 15 years to get all of them, but I'm happy to report the set is finally complete. Now, given the subject of this video, a lot of longtime viewers probably have an idea of what this is. Well, the set is finished. I finally have the last 2 volumes I need of Del Rey's excellent collection of the works of Robert E. Howard. Yes, the creator of Conan and many others, and basically the granddaddy of the sword and sorcery genre. So here we have the best of Robert E. Howard, Volume 1, Crimson Shadows. Give you a look at the back there. Now, I remember when I picked up a few other volumes that I needed for this collection, I wasn't sure about the best ofs, but some of you fine viewers filled me in and said, yes, there is some overlap, but there's also some stuff in these books that are not in the other collections, so they're definitely worth getting. So, thank you for that. Faithful viewers, appreciate the info. Well, I finally got them. So let's just take a quick peek at the back here, and I'll give you an idea what's on this. So, inside, readers will discover or rediscover such gems as The Shadow Kingdom, featuring Cull of Atlantis, and considered by many to be the first sword and sorcery story. The Fightinist Pair, part of one of Howard's most successful series, chronicling the travails of Steve Costigan, a merchant seaman with fists of steel and a head of wood. The Grey God Passes, a haunting tale about the passing of an age told against the backdrop of Irish history and legend. Worms of the Earth, a brooding narrative featuring Bran Mac Morn, about which H.P. Lovecraft said, few readers will ever forget the hideous and compelling power of this macabre masterpiece. A historical poem relating a momentous battle between Cimbri and the legions of Rome, and Sharp's Gun Serenade, one of the last and funniest of the Breckenridge Elkins tales. These thrilling, eerie, compelling, swashbuckling stories and poems have been restored to their original form, presented just as the author intended. There is little doubt that after more than 7 decades, the voice of Robert E. Howard continues to resonate with readers around the world. So each one of these volumes usually features artwork by a featured artist. And this one features art by Jim and Ruth Keegan. Now, as we've discussed in previous updates for other editions of this, there were also hardcover editions, which had all of the artwork in color, at least the, the big, art plates like that. But sadly, the hardcovers are a little pricey and a little harder to come by these days, and plus, the paperbacks take slightly less shelf space. So I decided to just go with the black and white ones. Besides, a lot of this artwork does look quite striking in black and white. And, having been a big fan of the Savage Sword of Conan black and white comics and such, I'm no stranger to black and white artwork for the works of Robert E. Howard. So, we got that one, and then of course we get Volume 1. We also got to pick up Volume 2 of the best of Robert E. Howard. This one is Grim Lands. Yes. So this gives us a taste of some of Howard's other stuff. beyond just his sword and sorcery. I can see there's some of the historical fiction that he did, and you know, looks like this one has a pirate adventure in it. I'll read the full back here for you just so you can get kind of the full spiel. The classic pulp magazines of the early 20th century are long gone, but their action-packed tales live on in this collection of the work of legendary storyteller Robert E. Howard. From his fecund imagination sprang an army of larger-than-life heroes, including the iconic Conan the Cimmerian, King Kull of Atlantis, Solomon Kane, and Bran Mak Morn, as well as adventures that would define a genre for generations. Now comes the second volume of this author's breathtaking short fiction, which runs the gamut from sword and sorcery, historical epic, and seafaring pirate adventure to two-fisted crime and intrigue, ghoulish horror, and rip-roaring western. Kull reigns supreme in By This Axe I Rule and The Mirrors of Tuzan Thun. Conan conquers in one of his most popular exploits, the Tower of the Elephant. I've read the original of that, as well as several different comic adaptations, and they also did an adaptation of it in the live-action series with Rolf, what's his name? You know, the live-action show that ran for one season back in the early 90s. Yeah, great stuff, great story. Solomon Kane battles demons deep in Africa in Wings in the Night, and itinerant boxer Steve Costigan puts up his Dukes of Steel inside and outside the ring in the Bulldog breed. In between, warrior kings, daring knights, sinister masterminds, grizzled frontiersmen, even Howard's stunning heroine Red Sonja tear up the pages in stories built to thrill by their masterly creator. And in such epic poems as Echoes from an Anvil, Black Harps in the Hills, and The Grim Land, the author blends his classic characters and visceral imagery with a lyricism as haunting as traditional folk balladry. Lavishly illustrated by Jim and Ruth Keegan once again, here is a Robert E. Howard collection as indispensable as it is unforgettable. Well, there you go. Let's see if we got some pictures here. We got some pretty pictures we can look at. Let's see. Try to get some of the big play. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Ha! Yes, the Tower of the Elephant. That's an all-time great, by the way. It's from Conan when he was in his thieving days. He basically hears about this this treasure in this tower that no one's ever been able to claim, and decides to give it a shot. And he gets the help of another thief who's a little more familiar with the traps and such therein. But yeah, it's a great story. We got here we go. Who is that? Wings in the Night. Yeah. With Solomon Kane. Yeah, so I do have the full collections of Conan and Kull and Solomon Kane and Bran Mak Morn and all of those. But yeah, great stuff. And that's the thing about Robert E. Howard's stories, and I think why they continue to endure, is because they really do transcend the sort of typical view of what pulp fiction is, where a lot of the pulp stories of the era, like the 30s and 40s, tended to be very lurid tales of, you know, sex and violence and so forth, just pure titillation and just kind of trashy entertainment, very disposable. But when Weird Tales came along, the editor of that really wanted to elevate the genre beyond what it had been up to that point. So he just started looking for really good writers. And in the same magazine, Weird Tales, we got not only Robert E. Howard introduced to the world through all of his various creations, but also H.P. Lovecraft in the same magazine. In fact, they became friends. But yeah, so it's definitely different from what you might normally expect. And they're just terrific stories. Cannot recommend them highly enough. And yeah, and speaking of Robert E. Howard, this is something I've been wanting to check out for a long time and finally managed to get my hands on it on Blu-ray. We have The Whole Wide World, which is basically, you know, takes some dramatic license, but it's essentially the life story of Robert E. Howard, played by the always amazing Vincent D'Onofrio. I mean, come on. So, there we go. And I kind of wonder if this is even if this is an official. I mean, this looks very kind of bootleggy. I don't know. Let's open this up. I have not opened this up yet, but it's the only Blu-ray I saw, and oddly, there doesn't seem to be any copyright info on it, which usually means bootleg, but it's the only one I could find. So, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I'm going to find a BDR or something. I mean, the other thing is it could just be a really small label. I mean, there are a lot of small indie labels that don't necessarily put all the pertinent info on the case, but give me a second here. But either way, I mean, I've been wanting to check out this movie for ages. I remember seeing some clips of it where he's talking to his, what is his girlfriend, I guess? Yeah. So I'll just read the back here. It says, based on her acclaimed autobiography, Novaline Price Ellis, a feisty West Texas schoolteacher, has a torrid and turbulent affair with Robert E. Howard, the great pulp writer of the 1930s. Yeah, because I remember seeing a scene from this years ago where he's telling her about Conan, like because he just created the character and he's really excited about it, and he's like very animated and like just, you know, he's basically telling her the story as if it's happening in real time, and he's just, you know, and it's Vincent D'Onofrio, so I mean, great stuff. It says, however, their conflicting personalities, along with Howard's emotional baggage, including his sickly mother and absent father, puts a strain on their relationship. The two struggle to carry on the romance as Howard becomes more immersed into his stories and less connected to the real world. So, yeah, it sounds like a fun one. Yes. Blu-ray disc. That looks very official, doesn't it? And, yeah, sure enough, I think it's a BDR, but, hey, you know, if that's the only way we can get it, I guess that's the only way we can get it. I got this on Amazon, by the way. Like, I didn't, like, find it from some shady website or anything, but anyway, looking forward to checking that out. Next up, speaking of the Friends of Conan, I did pick up a 4K of this before, as you guys know if you saw my update a while back. But, well, not to be outdone, Arrow stepped in and put out a vastly superior 4K edition of Red Sonja. Yes, so this is a hardbox edition in a slipcase. We're not going to open it up now because I'm actually planning to do a big unboxing, closer look at all the new Conan stuff I got. So we'll save this for that, because I did get the box set of the that Arrow put out of the two Schwarzenegger movies as well. So very cool. So what's this one? We have yeah, Bridget Nelson and Arnold Schwarzenegger as not Conan for copyright reasons apparently. But what do we got here? We got so much stuff on here. Original lossless mono audio and optional 5.1 surround. Subtitles, brand new audio commentary by critics Eugenio Ercolani and Troy Howarth. Another brand new audio commentary with comic book expert Dave Baxter. The Prince and Me, a newly filmed interview with actor Ernie Reyes Jr. Swords, Stunts, and Sonja, a newly filmed interview with Action Unit Supervisor Vic Armstrong. The Last of the Invincibles, a newly filmed interview with Schwarzenegger's stunt double Pietro Torrisi. The Danish Girl, a newly filmed interview with stuntman Ottaviano Dell'Acqua, sorry for butchering the name there. The 12 Labors of Red Sonja, a newly filmed interview with assistant production manager Stefano Spadoni. The Marvel of Primitive Technology, a newly filmed interview with effects artist Domingo Lizcano, discussing the work of Emilio Ruiz del Rio. Molding Fantasies, a newly filmed interview with makeup FX assistant Adriano Carboni. Bodybuilding the Imagery, an archival unreleased interview with poster artist Renato Casaro, very cool. The Man Who Raised Hollywood, an archive featurette on Schwarzenegger's career, featuring filmmakers Peter Hyams and Arthur Allen Seidelman. Peter Hyams, I just picked up Arrow's edition of Outland, which of course he directed. Great stuff. Did you do this one? No, he didn't do this one. And Arthur Allen Seidelman, producer Edward Pressman, and others. Red Sonja versus Calidor, The Making of a Misunderstanding, an archive interview with assistant director Michel Ferry. Theatrical trailer, image gallery, reversible sleeve featuring 2 original artwork options by Renato Casaro. collector's perfect bound booklet featuring new writing on the film by John Walsh, author of Conan the Barbarian, the official story of the film, Nanni Cabretti and Barry Forshaw. Double-sided fold-out poster featuring 2 original artwork options by Renato Casaro and 6 postcard-sized production art cards. So a ton of new stuff, a bunch of archival stuff, like, wow. Now, I have the previous 4K edition, which was an import, I think. Yeah, and I heard mixed things about the transfer on that one. This, I believe, is an all-new transfer. Yeah, 4K restoration from the original negative with new HDR grading by Arrow Film, so you know that's going to look good. So, very cool. Looking forward to that. I have not seen Red Sonja basically since the 80s, so that'll be a fun treat. Did I show you the back of the other book? I think I did. Just to be thorough, make sure you saw the back of that one too, even though I read it all to you. Alright. We don't have to do things in sequence, it doesn't matter. And then, since I picked up Red Sonja, I thought I should also probably pick up Red Sonja. This is, of course, the new film, which just came out, last year? A couple years ago? This year. No, last year. Yeah, 2025. So, there you go. So, brand new take on Red Sonja. I guess the idea being to be a little more faithful to the comics and such that made her famous. And we have, so this one, starring Matilda Lutz, Robert Sheehan, and Michael Bisping. I don't know who any of them are. But anyway, enslaved by an evil sorcerer who wishes to destroy her home, barbarian huntress Red Sonja must unite a group of warriors and slaves to face off against the tyrannical Dragan the Magnificent and his deadly bride, Dark Anicia, based on the best-selling comic series. Very cool. Bonus features, featurette. Okay then, cool. Alright, so anyway, we'll probably have like a Red Sonja double bill at some point, so looking forward to that. I really need to pick up some of the comics too. I'm not really hugely familiar with Red Sonja outside of the few issues I read of Savage Sword of Conan that she guest starred in. But yeah, should be fun. Next up, going into peplum territory briefly. I'm a huge peplum fan. I love them. I mean, I picked up those Mill Creek sets ages ago that have like 50 of them. There's so few of them available on Blu-ray, or let alone 4K. So, anytime I see one, I snap it up because, I want to do my part as a fan of the genre to support those releases, right? So, from Kino Lorber, we have Samson and the 7 Miracles of the World. Yeah. So, Samson was a character that appeared in quite a few. Goliath was another one. They weren't necessarily the Samson and Goliath of mythology, but, they just were bankable names, I guess. They figured they would bring in the people. But, yeah, so we just have a nice little sword and sandal epic here. We got audio commentary by novelist and critic Tim Lucas. He does a lot of stuff for Kino. And it includes 2 cuts. We have the international 98-minute cut and the 76-minute American International Pictures US cut. And some trailers. So what's this one all about? So we have featuring chariot charging action, fearless tiger wrestling stunts, and an earth-shaking climax. Samson and the 7 Miracles of the World is a sword and sandal spectacular from the maestro Ricardo Freda, who did The Horrible Dr. Hitchcock and Murder Obsession. Hordes of sadistic Mongol warriors descend upon China, enslaving its people and plotting to assassinate the beautiful young princess, played by Yoko Tani from The Savage Innocents, until a muscle-bound hero, Gordon Scott from Tarzan the Magnificent, rises up and rouses the people to drive the Mongols from their nation's majestic mountainscapes. A legendary warrior fulfills his destiny and becomes a miracle of a man in this classic peplum adventure film, also known as Maciste at the Court of the Great Khan. Maciste is another one that you see quite a bit. Not necessarily all part of the same series, but featuring that named character. This special edition includes both the original cut and the American International Pictures US cut. Very nice. So, more of this, please, Kino, and other labels. We desperately need more peplum on Blu-ray. Please and thank you. Next up, we have Bill, or Kane himself in The Warrior and the Sorceress, starring David Carradine. Yeah, there you go. So basically, David Carradine doing the sword and sorcery thing. Gotta love it. And, I mean, just check out that cover. Just freaking ripped. That's awesome. I love it. So this is from Scream Factory. This was actually originally a limited edition release that they sold through their website. They recently re-released a bunch of previously limited editions in, I guess, slightly less limited fashion. So I snapped up a bunch that I had missed back in the day, this being one of them. And, I mean, come on, David Carradine doing the Conan thing, like, yeah, I'm there, man, I'm there. So, welcome to a distant world of exciting battles, exotic women, mystical secrets, and evil wizards. Kane, oh my god, he's actually named Kane in this. How I did not know that. David Carradine is the last survivor of a mighty warrior tribe. Once an exalted warrior priest, Kane now wanders the planet as a mercenary sword fighter. Is this like Kung Fu, but the sword and sorcery version? I swear to God. As a mercenary sword for hire. In one small village, he finds two vicious clans struggling for power. Kane becomes embroiled in the treachery, the battles, the mighty wizardry, and rampant debauchery. Well, gotta love a bit of rampant debauchery. And it looks like it is bare bones, ladies and gentlemen. No special features whatsoever. So this one's from 1984. When was Samson from? Samson was from 1961. So, there we go. Alright. Next up, well, if you're going to get a collection of Barbarian movies, you got to get The Barbarians, starring the Barbarian brothers. Gotta love the Barbarian brothers. My introduction to them, funny enough, was a deleted scene from Oliver Stone's Natural Born Killers. There was a scene that he filmed with them because I guess he just loved their movies and stuff because they're just fun. And where Mickey and Mallory basically find them and kill them, and they're playing kind of parodies of themselves, and they're like, wait, and they stop, as they're in the middle of dismembering them, they stop, and they're like, wait a minute, you guys are the brothers, we love your movies, and it's like, oh wow, I didn't know you guys were fans, that's so cool, Mickey and Mallory. Meanwhile, they're like, you know, bleeding to death on the floor. And yeah, so Oliver Stone said he cut it because he didn't quite feel that the humor worked in it, unfortunately, and that the brothers, the Barbarian brothers, as much as he loved them, just weren't quite as, you know, their acting wasn't as good in that as he had hoped it would be, but I don't know, whatever. So I've always wanted to check out some of their other films, because I don't think I've ever seen them. Like, I've always been aware of them, because they were very, you know, popular in the early 90s and such, a lot of direct-to-video stuff. So you always saw them around, but I just never got around to never, you know, happened to see any of them. So I thought, well, while I was picking up some sword and sorcery stuff, I saw that Kino Lorber had put out The Barbarians, which is, funny enough, I think the only fantasy movie they did. All the other ones they did were just kind of like, you know, they were like cop buddies or brothers or whatever. Just more comedy stuff. So I wanted to get something that was a little more in line with what you would kind of expect from a couple of big beefy dudes like the Barbarian brothers. But yeah, I mean, this has them in it. It's directed by Ruggero Deodato, who is like a, you know, huge director in Italy. I have a bunch of his other films. He often did like exploitation films and such. I've got one or two post-apocalyptic films that he did. I think he did, was it Texas Gladiators 2020? I think, or was it Endgame? I can't remember. I watched a bunch of them back to back, and they all kind of blurred together in my brain. I'll do proper reviews of those at some point. But yeah, and we got Richard Lynch in this, and Michael Berryman. Like, I mean, this just sounds like so much fun. So this is The Barbarians from 1987. Has audio commentary by film historians Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson, and a theatrical trailer. So not much in the way of extras. But I'll just read the back here to you just so you know kind of what it's about. An evil ruler, Kadar, played by Richard Lynch from Invasion USA, Bad Dreams. He was also in Battlestar Galactica, the original. Enslaves Canary, a beautiful young queen, played by Virginia Bryant from Demons 2, and two twin boys from her clan. Canary's faithful servant takes one of the twins to a distant land where he grows strong and powerful, while the other twin stays with the evil Kadar. With the help of a young outlaw woman, Eva LaRue from TV's All My Children, the twins set out to free their mother. Starring the Barbarian brothers, Peter and David Paul, from DC Cab, Think Big, and Double Trouble. Actually, I think I have seen DC Cab. That's the one with Mr. T's in that one, too. But, like, not since I was a kid. I couldn't tell you anything about it. And Michael Berryman, of course, from The Hills Have Eyes, Armed Response, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and a million other things. Love Michael Berryman. And directed by cult filmmaking legend Ruggero Deodato, who did Cannibal Holocaust and Cut and Run. And there you go. I actually didn't know he did Cannibal Holocaust, another one that somehow slipped off my radar. People have been telling me about it for years. I definitely need to pick that one up. Next up, I did show this one in an update, but it's kind of related to our last couple of items here, and kind of current in that the new movie just came out, so I thought we'll take another little re-look at it, and maybe actually open it up this time, because I haven't opened it up yet. We have 1987's Masters of the Universe, which, I mean, come on, He-Man is clearly, you know, from Conan for kids, essentially, right? So, there you go. So this is the Umbrella Entertainment limited edition that came out a little while ago. Quite a low number on it, too. It's a limited edition of 3,500. I got number 130. Not too bad. So, you know, number fiends, hope you're impressed. So, and also interesting to note, I didn't realize this is actually a Golan Globus production. They were like the kings of direct-to-video action movies in the 80s. And it was directed by Gary Goddard. Gary Goddard is a name that I know as the creator and executive producer of Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future, one of my all-time favorite TV shows. So people are kind of scratching their heads, like, why are they putting out a He-Man movie now? Like, it kind of hit its peak in, like, 83, 84 when it first came out. You know, and I'd say, you know, 85 as well when She-Ra came out and stuff like that. But by 1987, it had kind of, you know, petered out, you know. But, so I don't know why it took them so long to do the live-action movie. And as a result, I feel like that could be one of the reasons they didn't get a very big budget for it, because the franchise wasn't as big by that point. But, I mean, I guess it's just the nature of movies. Like, it takes a certain amount of time to get a movie off the ground, and I don't know. Anyway, there's a ton of special features on here that'll probably tell the whole damn story. So I definitely look forward to checking those out. Now, that said, as cheesy as this is, and as disappointing as it was in some respects, I mean, we really wanted something that was just set on Eternia, but they just didn't have the budget for it. But man, the Eternia stuff they did do was awesome. But then also we're like missing, like conspicuously missing a lot of characters. Like, where's Cringer and Battle Cat? You know, and a lot of the Rogues Gallery isn't in it. But you know, for what they had to work with, you know, it's a fun movie. But yeah, so we have audio commentary with director Gary Goddard, Electric Boogaloo, extended interviews with actor Dolph Lundgren, director Gary Goddard, producer Ed Pressman, production designer William Stout, co-writer Stephen Tolkien, and special effects supervisor Richard Edlund, absolute legend Richard Edlund. Masters of the Universe 2, Tales of the Sequel That Never Was. Yeah, because of course, if you've seen it, you know they left it very open-ended with Skeletor popping out of the lava, and he's like, I'll be back and get you, whatever he said. But, you know, that kind of thing. So it's Tales of the Sequel That Never Was, with filmmaker Albert Plaion and others, Behind the Legend archival featurette, Canon Films sci-fi and fantasy trailer reel, stills and poster gallery, original theatrical trailer, teaser trailer, and there's an Easter egg on there too. Ooh, how sneaky. So, very cool. I look forward to revisiting this. Let's crack it open, shall we? And we'll just see what we can see. Oh, this is nice, actually. Set that aside. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let's take that off. There we go. So, very nice matte finish with gloss for the photo on the front. And then on the back, only the universe could hold adventure this big. The universe. That's great. And then slide this out. Yeah, there we go. And then, oh, we have different artwork again. And just, be warned, it's rated PG because the content is mild in impact. It's mild in impact. So it's impactful, but mildly. I don't know why I find the ratings thing so amusing. And we have some alternate artwork underneath. Again, no, it's actually... Oh, no, right, I keep forgetting. Umbrella does this thing where, okay, you got the ratings sticker that I just made fun of, but then the reversible cover is without the ratings sticker. So, there you go. You can have a clean cover if you prefer on your shelf. And that's that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the J card. I don't know that you can't really fit it in here. I'll just keep it like that for now. Alright, so last, but most definitely not least, sadly, I missed out on the first release of this. This was originally released in a big box set with a lot more than what they have subsequently re-released. Let me show you. This was an upgrade I absolutely had to get. We have, from Plaion Pictures, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Volume 1, the Blu-ray collection. The big deal with this is every episode has been remastered and cleaned up and has never looked better. And, most importantly, as I've bitched and moaned for years, the masters of this show, the Masters of the Universe, that have been floating around for ages have been PAL masters, where the speed is a little too fast, so the voices are a little higher and it runs a little too short. This has had everything fixed, so it now runs at the original NTSC speed, well, it's specifically 24 frames per second, so film speed. The pitch has been corrected, everything's been fixed. So this is as close as you can possibly get to the way the show originally aired in North America back in 1983. But in better quality than we certainly ever would have seen it back then. I've watched a few episodes on this, and it is a freaking revelation. It is absolutely amazing. Now, this is a German set. For whatever reason, it has not been released here. It is Region B locked, but it does have both the English and German audio. Now, interestingly enough, the German audio is still the original, the PAL speed that it would have aired in over in Germany, because it's a PAL country. But, yeah. So it says here, it has the alternative VHS Synchrofassungen. So, I'm guessing that means the original VHS speed and stuff. And it has audio commentary. Some of the audio commentary on this is in English. In fact, James Eatock, editor and creator of Serial Geek magazine and its accompanying YouTube channel, and He-Man and the Masters of the Universe superfan, worked very closely with Plaion Pictures on this and supervised pretty much the whole damn thing to give it the best possible presentation that they could. So if we slide this out, there's a beautiful matte finish slip box, by the way. And then, yeah, so if we do this, it's the same artwork on the keep case. There we go, and if you want to see the spine. So the title and everything is in English, and the front is in English, but all the text on the back is German. Now, when you play the discs, if you want to watch it in English, remember the English is the second audio track, so it defaults to German. And as someone who grew up watching only the English, I have to say the German is interesting to see. But very lovely disc art on there, and each disc has 13 episodes. So 65 episodes for Volume 1, comprising the entire first season. And also interesting to note, this was the first animated series that was made to be sold directly into syndication. Are we able to, we can kind of see the, actually hold on, if I slide this out, we can see the lovely artwork on the interior here. that. So this was originally released in a big box set, limited edition, incredibly expensive. Yeah, there was no way I could afford that at the time. It was out of my price range, and came and went so fast that I probably would have missed it anyway. But it had, if I remember correctly, it had all 130 episodes of He-Man, but it also included all 93 episodes of She-Ra, and I guess probably the movie, Secret of the Sword. So then we have the Guide to Eternia, which is a nice little booklet, which gives you an episode guide that is entirely in German. But it does have the English episode titles as well, so you can see, you know, which is which. And the other thing is, it's basically put all of the episodes into chronological story order. So what, you know, there wasn't like super tight continuity across these. Oh, nice new booklet smell. But each disc has its own color for the pages. So we got like orange and purple and stuff like that. You get the idea. But yeah, so you can at least see what the episodes are, even if you can't read the description in German. I think, yeah, the descriptions are only German. But you at least get the English titles and credits. So, but that's okay. The important thing is, we now have a properly definitive set of He-Man. And of course, it doesn't end with Volume 1, because there was another 65 episodes, which are present in Volume 2. And there you go. And for some reason, this one is glossy finish. I don't know why they did this one glossy. But, yeah, it's just fantastic artwork on the covers. They're really nice. So, slide this one out. And same thing there. And there. And is this... okay, yeah, so the first set has He-Man and on the cover of the booklet, and then Grayskull on the discs, and then this has Skeletor and Snake Mountain. And there you go, so then that's the remaining episodes. So then between the two of them, you have all 130 episodes of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And there's the other interior art there. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Yeah. So it's great to finally have this done properly, you know. I hope that I would love to see more of the Filmation shows get this treatment. You know what I'd really like, actually? You know what I'm going to say. Brave Star. Can we have like some kind of big definitive set of Brave Star? Not only with the timing corrected, but did you know Brave Star actually had stereo sound? Yeah. None of the home video releases have the stereo audio, except for the movie. The movie has stereo, but the show doesn't. And the reason I know that is because, you know, I have the old DVDs from BCI Eclipse, but just kind of poking around the internet, I found a set on archive.org. Was it archive.org? No, it's on YouTube, actually. It's on YouTube that has the original stereo audio for all the episodes. I'm like, why didn't we get that? Well, where's our stereo break? Come on! It's Filmation's last show. You got to give it the deluxe treatment. Like, come on. Also, I think it's one of their best shows. It's my personal favorite of theirs. Anyway, that is it. So we got Conan and Friends. And, yeah, so some great additions to the Sword and Sorcery collection, and, you know, the ultimate Conan for Kids show with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and its live-action adaptation. And, yeah. So, I have not seen the new He-Man movie, before anyone asks. I definitely want to. I hear it's a lot of fun. I'll pick it up when it comes out. I don't really go to the theaters anymore because it's just so freaking expensive. But I'll pick up a nice 4K edition of it whenever it comes out. I'm sure some of the boutique labels will be vying to get their hands on it. But, yeah. Alrighty, folks. Well, that is it from me to you for now. Gonna go get my food. And I'll see you next time. Until then, thanks for watching, and sayonara.